It's Olympics time. Congratulations.
Yay!
So many good things about Olympics. Like it's a great chance for the world to promote peace, equality, human rights, and I'm so happy that International Olympics Committee, the organization which organizes the Olympics, is doing all of that, right? Right?
Yes, but no, actually they failed to do it. They had one job. They had one job, make this event nice for everyone, and people who shouldn't be taking part of it shouldn't be taking part of it. But no promoting of peace, since if you didn't know, Russian and Belarusian sportsmen were banned from taking part in Olympics under their flags because, well, doping first, war second, priorities. And now, someone decided that everybody should come back. They can be members of the military, and spoiler alert, they are. They can endorse genocide and endorse murdering other people. They can like pictures with Stalin. And somehow it's okay for everybody, to cheer them on as they achieve their more and better Olympic sportsmanship goals.
But Melanie, they're
Yes.
still human beings. They trained hard. They tried hard to achieve this. I don't know, supremacy in sports. They're still they're just children who don't like they don't like participate or support the war effort directly, right? Or
No, no, no.
or
They
do
do. They
they?
do. This is my favorite equivalency of mine, where we take people who either say nothing or are not explicit in their supporting the war, and then we close our eyes and we pretend that it's not there, and everybody's happy and dapper and chipper and hugging. So before we even start talking about facts about what kind of people from Russia and Belarus and are actually allowed to take part in the Olympics this Friday, and it's actually before we speak about what they actually did, let's ask and answer this very important question of why is it even a problem?
Yeah. There's a reason why countries who commit genocide and do all this horrible stuff don't participate in Olympics. Okay, at least those who are doing this very openly, right? Um, I don't know. Probably you shouldn't be if you commit genocide, if you support this, you shouldn't be celebrating with all the other people. You shouldn't be there competing against those who you're trying to kill, right? They will be competing with Ukrainians. They will be competing against Georgians who they occupy as well, partly. So yeah, it would be weird. Some of Ukrainian sportsmen died because of them, right? We have a long list of Ukrainian sportsmen who were killed by
Yeah,
Russians.
about 500 of Ukrainians' top level athletes have already died in this war with Russia. And you know what? Also, a lot of sport events and sport venues were destroyed by Russian missiles and rockets. So virtually, it is actually giving Russians an unfair advantage, whereas nobody is bombing Russian swimming pools and gyms and tennis courts, but it's Ukrainian athletes who have to compete under shelling and who have to train and then go to the other country and try to, despite all the odds, win their medals and do their best, but somehow they're supposed to sit there in the same row in the same place with people who are actively, and I stress this actively, not only promoting genocide against them, but also, spoiler as I said, are members of the same military who's trying to kill them.
Yeah, it's not only training under shelling, right? It's also Ukrainian athletes have to go and take the arms and fight directly against Russians. So we are not getting a lot of medals because some of Ukrainian athletes are actually sitting in the trenches right now and trying to defend the country against Russian aggression, while those motherfuckers are sitting in comfortable Moscow cities taking money from Russian government, taking money from Russian sponsorships, promoting Russian business, whatever, and also participating in Russian military.
So yeah, there was this report published by the organization called Global Rights Compliance, and they published a report that says that International Olympics Committee ignored evidence showing large number of Russian and Belarusian athletes set to compete in Paris Olympics next week that they have violated participating rules. And you might ask, maybe it's just 2 people, maybe it's like 10 people, maybe it's like maybe 11 people.
It
But
couldn't be
no,
that big.
actually, yeah, it couldn't be that big. But actually, 33 out of 59 Russian and Belarusian athletes declared eligible by the IOC have violated the rules of participation. This dossier shows that over 2/3 of accepting Russian athletes, 67%, and well over the third, 44%, of accepting Belarusian athletes have violated the principle of participation. And the principle of participation is something that is very easy, to adhere to. Basically, you have to, if you're not supporting general democratic and liberal rules of society, like no killing other people, no genociding other people, no war crimes, no stabbing and murder. Yeah. So as long as you don't support that, you have to at least not say anything about that, right? You have to at least behave and pretend as if you're against. But that has proven to be even too much for these people.
Too
Just,
hard. Too hard,
not
right?
taking part in pro-war events, too much. Not liking a picture of Stalin, impossible to do. You
Yeah,
see
no,
Stalin
that's-
and you just have to,
Wait a
your
second.
hand is shaking. You have to,
cannot. But that's Stalin. He did nothing wrong, right?
Yeah, right. Because Stalin is not horrible, apparently, But so there was this review, and it's just an overall assessment made by this NGO who only care about everything being fair and whatnot. It's just OSINT. It's virtually going through some pages of these people and looking at their posts and looking at what they're like. I can only imagine, what would be there if you look maybe deeper into this. Maybe you've had access to some more information about these people. But I think actually we've made this we've talked about this on the channel before. We've actually interviewed one of our own Ukrainian sportsmen back in the day, Vladislav Heraskevich, who is a known advocate and known defender of this concept of fairness and values in the sport worldwide. So, as many of you may know, members of certain sports clubs in Russia are actually members of either law enforcement or the military. So, basically, this is how it always worked in the Soviet Union. It's you have the military and then a lot of skilled people with good physique are there. So you put them together in these groups, and then these groups become kind of professional in certain sport of that. So we have the so-called Dynamo. They're usually connected to law enforcement, and we have the so-called CSKA. If you want to look into what, this actual name means, it's literally the central club of the military. So it's a military sports club. Nevertheless, but you can say, hey, listen, this is a Soviet tradition, right? There is no, Soviet Union anymore, right? Maybe it's just a formality. Maybe these people are not in the military anymore. Actually, we're just going to start from the most basic shit, I would say. Actually, no. So let's look at certain people, just so that you don't, accuse us of being, just, suggesting
Crazy
things.
lunatics.
Yeah,
those crazy Ukrainians. That's
Yeah, crazy
hysterical.
Ukrainians. Yeah. So there's this guy, his name is Yevgeny Zoloty. And he's an Olympic rower who accepted the invitation to take part in the Olympics. And he is actually a member of the sports committee of the Armed Forces of Belarus, a Belarusian sports institution subordinate to the Belarusian Ministry of Defense. The sports committee's main objective includes the organization, implementation, and promotion of physical training in sports, well, obviously, but in the Russian armed forces. And further, within the Armed Forces of Belarus, Zoloty holds the military rank of a junior sergeant. You might say. You know how Belarusians love to say, well, Belarus is occupied as well. But nevertheless, nobody forced him to go into the military.
Yeah, that's not you aren't supposed to, right? You can also You can also leave Belarus, compete with neutral flag anyway. But yeah, no. If you're staying in Belarus, and Belarus is a dictatorship essentially, and if you don't support the regime, you don't support everything related to the regime, including war against Ukraine, you are probably part of it, like in dictatorships usually. Yeah, that's Belarus. There's also Russia, right? The Yevgeny Somov, as an example. There are lots of them. There are too much of them. We won't go through all of them. Yevgeny Somov was made public in 2016 that he was a member of Central Sports Club of Army, Russian sports institution subordinate to the Russian Ministry of Defense, and is part of the structure of the Russian armed forces. One of the CSKA main objective is the effective development of physical culture and sports in Russian armed forces. The CSKA operates at least 5 companies, military units. Members of CSKA engage in military service, are issued weapons, and take an oath of allegiance to the Russian armed forces. So it's basically as if I don't know, Air Force of United States of America would have a sports team, and you've been part of Air Force and a sports team, or I don't know, if you are part of the university sports team or whatever, you are related to the university. If you are part of a military sports team sponsored by the military, you're probably related to the military. Anyway, that's not only that. So that's bad. That's bad by itself. And IOC.
No, it just kind of says it. If you look at it from like, if you're a member of a military who's actively engaged in the war against another country illegally, not a war of survival, but a war of terror and a war of occupation, and you are in fact a military personnel, how in the fuck is that adherent to any news of rules of neutrality anywhere? I don't really know.
Yeah. So if you think that that's a coincidence, they have to, right? They have to participate in something. They have to be part of the sports club. They are not guilty that sports club is in the Russian military forces system. And you think, okay, that's not up to them. But then again, if you go to what these people are doing, and I remind you that by the charter of International Olympic Committee, they are forbidden from supporting the war. We have Alena Ivanchenko. She's the Olympic sportsman in cycling, born in 2003. Very young, but already like Stalin. So the Instagram post with Stalin, who says, and in the quote, I'm not sure it's even Stalin's quote, I haven't heard about that. The ceasefire with the enemy is possible only after its full
annihilation.
Annihilation, yeah, right, that's the word. Cool. Another one is some propaganda stuff, and Putin saying he will, I don't know, what's he saying there? Let's see.
I consider it necessary to support the proposal of the Ministry of Defense and the General Staff to conduct a partial mobilization in the Russian Federation.
Oh yeah, the Putin's call for mobilization for a special military operation, the war against Ukraine. She liked the post. Good for her. I think
she's not going to be the one on the battlefield, right? She's not going to be going there. She's going to go to Paris. She's going to have fun in Paris while her, countrymen are going to die under, trying to invade Ukraine further, for no reason at all. But yeah, so not only that, we're not, too much looking into these likes and stuff. We have something a bit more concrete and a bit more, not as abstract as a like on social media. So a teeny tiny baby called Angela Blatseva, who was a gymnast, who actually accepted again the invitation to participate in this year's Olympics. She actually, between May 23rd and 26th, 2023, Blatseva competed in the Russian Team Championship and All-Russian Competition Hope of Russia 2 trampoline competition at the Olympic Sport Palace in Krasnodar in Russia. The event was officially organized by the Russian Trampoline Federation and registered with the Russian Ministry of Sport. And you know what? It would all be fine, sort of, right? So no military. She's not a military personnel, does not have a rank, is not, liking Stalin post. Except for there was a giant fucking backdrop of a giant Z symbol behind her back and the St. George's ribbon. So imagine, you're a sportsman, right? And then you walk in on Olympic Games and all is funny and dapper and you see your colleagues and your colleague over there basically just was dumping and hula hooping and triple axling and I don't know the names, but doing that in front of a giant fucking swastika. So imagine if that was the case. Imagine a German gymnast would be jumping on a trampoline in front of a giant fucking swastika somewhere in Munich. Imagine that. Let's just, and then he would be allowed to compete in the fucking Olympic Games in Paris, out of all places. Imagine that situation.
Yeah, that's...
How plausible you think that would happen?
Not that we didn't have an Olympics in Nazi Germany, but that was before.
Yeah, okay. We kind of all came together and promised we wouldn't do that again. But we even say never again, always. Even
though that was 1936, if I'm not mistaken, it was before even German invasion of Czechoslovakia, right? Even before all the stuff, already lots of horrible stuff, but not all the horrible stuff, not 99% of horrible stuff. Right now, it's like I don't know, Germany invaded Poland and we were inviting German soldiers to participate in, I don't know, whatever they had in 1939. But what the fuck? I mean, yeah,
I just love this picture. It reminds me of I don't know, Jojo Rabbit or Inglourious Bastard. It looks almost cinematic. This Olympian just jumping in front of this giant swastika. I mean, it's exactly what it looks like to me. Literally, yeah, this is what it's just what it is.
If you think we are hysterical, right? You have to look into what Russians are saying. What they are liking. What they're saying is essentially there is no Ukrainian nation. Ukrainian nation should be destroyed. They act as this. They take Ukraine. There was recent report. They take Ukrainian children from occupied territories. They kidnap them essentially and send them to re-education camps to Chechnya and Dagestan, where some weird people teach them to be in Russian. They shoot people for speaking Ukrainian on occupied territories. They kill Ukrainians, prisoners of war, for speaking Ukrainian. This is a genocide. They take Ukrainian apartments and buildings and houses away from them and then replace them with Russians from other Russian regions. This is a genocide. This is essentially what Nazi Germany wanted to do and all the other countries which committed genocide did. So it's not just like that. But who should be concerned even more than us about this thing? We live in this regime called capitalism, right? And and there's such thing like social responsibility for big corporations, which is still a thing, hopefully.
Yeah, it's still it's almost a joke now, but we like to pretend.
Yeah, but we pretend hard, and I hope it works somehow. So maybe some companies who sponsor Olympics should be concerned that under their sponsorship, there will be guys who support genocide of Ukrainians running around, taking gold medals and silver medals, and yeah, right. So
screw Ukrainians. They want to drop an atom bomb on fucking Washington. They talk about this on Russian state TV all the time. Some of these sportsmen actually like the posts and statements made by the same people on Russian state TV who actively say that we should destroy United States of America, the homeland of some of the brands who sponsor the Olympics.
Yeah, so companies who might be concerned is AB InBev, Airbnb, Coca-Cola, Visa, Deloitte, Panasonic, Carrefour, and others. So you don't want that, right? especially if you have some. I remember Coca-Cola left Russia, right? Deloitte served the all the things with Russia. Lots of other companies. You don't want that, right? You don't want to be, I don't know, the Russian sportsman getting gold medal with his white flag and I don't know, sending his Zig Heils to Russian friends and and your banner like Deloitte or Panasonic is right behind him, and you're like, what? Nah, you don't want that. And then there's gonna be scandals. There are gonna be scandals with each of
I
Russian
remember
sportsmen.
when on YouTube, PewDiePie said the N-word, and it almost made all the major advertisers leave the platform. Like, this one stupid guy said a stupid thing, like made a very bad joke, and that was an apocalypse on YouTube. Like, advertisers actually threatened to leave, and it was one bad word. And now we have people who support genocide and who actually are part of the military that commits genocide standing in front of a huge Coca-Cola banner, and nobody gives a shit. That's fun.
Yeah,
That's not
that's
double
one.
standards at all.
International Olympics Committee doesn't think that's a problem. They didn't react. They said that they checked everything and they didn't find anything suspicious. Although we have a report, we will add the links to the report. You can check yourselves. There's extensive list of violations of the Olympics Committee charter, and hope it will change some minds, and hope you will have fun watching genociders, I don't know, military, like war criminals participating in this fucking festival of sports, and Ukrainians
Hypocrisy.
are dying. Yeah,
And even like, as just like the sick fucking joke at the end of this all, there's actually a sportsman from Belarus. Her name is Daria Chupres. She's an official member of the sports committee of the Armed Forces of Belarus. She is, this committee is, as we said before, the main objective is organization, implementation, and promotion of physical training in sports in the Belarusian Armed Forces. And the funny part of that is that Daria takes part in Olympic shooting. I would be very concerned. I'll be very concerned about the fact that a member of the military who is known in taking part in helping Russian Federation in occupying big parts of an independent country of Ukraine, the same country who helps launch kamikaze drones on Ukrainians' poor heads daily. So the person from that same country is gonna have a weapon and shoot at people at the Olympic Stadium. So I don't know, like, you just might as well just give them out Kalashnikovs and just have an invasion over in Paris. I don't care. Like this, it's like a sick fucking joke. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, hope French people appreciate it too, right? That this organization just let all those nice people in, and let's hope that none of these people and their team members are actual Russian spies, because that's also a problem, right? You're letting all these people in; they're all part of Russian military, and you letting them to your country during all the festivities, while everyone is like concentrated, focused on the Olympics, on the security of people visiting Paris, looking for sports, etc., etc. All those people can spy and do the sabotage thing. Probably nice thing would be to ban Russians altogether before they sort
but
these
they're not
things
gonna.
out. Yeah. Russians could
They're
sort
not
this
gonna,
thing.
because the IOC actually, I mean, they have reacted to this whole thing, and they said we have not seen any violations. And that entire report, full of screenshots, full of proof, just means nothing. So it's fine.
We haven't seen those. I'm sorry.
Boop, 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 boop,
See you
boop.
next week.
Bye.